versus display.
Yeah, they were doing that. They set off enough fireworks in my cul-de-sac to get the cops called.
Wow.
No, I mean they don't come, but
Oh.
so my neighbor across the street, he was big into fireworks and he died like 5 years ago. And he's got two boys who are in high school. And so they go bananas every year because that was like his favorite thing. And so it's like, yeah, it's totally
understand. Yeah.
Yeah. So they do the whole Wyoming thing and shit. Yeah. So, and then but this year we were kind of like having this mortar fight with the other cul-de-sac that's a little bit further down.
Okay.
Yeah. So they would launch up a salvo, wait 10 seconds. They would respond. Return fire. Yeah. So anyway, I'm Pat.
I'm Will.
I'm Jeffrey. And with that, here's the thing is, I have absolutely no problem with that on the 4th. I have no problem with that.
Right.
I say that you stop by around 2 o'clock.
I'd say it should be by midnight.
I would.
And I even like partaking in doing it.
Totally understand. But to give people a little more credit, like, hey, some people like to start lighting them off at midnight. So I'm like, all right, that's fine. Especially, okay, the tough thing about this time around is that the 4th was Thursday. So there are a lot of people, it's like, fucking, I gotta get up, Friday.
There were a lot of places that were closed on Friday, though, man.
Yeah.
There was a shitload. I mean, it hasn't been on Thursday in a while.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
It was on Tuesday last year.
Right. Yeah, it hasn't been on a Thursday in a minute, but I do remember the last time it was like I'm all fucked up right now. I know it's Sunday, but it feels like Tuesday.
I've been messed up since Juneteenth.
Yeah.
Because I miss trash, I miss appointment, everything like that. But so I understand with Friday, being right there, I could see the consideration for like, okay, maybe I will knock it off at midnight for that reason. But for me, I'm like, hey, it's the 4th, go nuts. But the shit where it's like, now it's Friday and it's midnight. Now it's
yeah. Once the 4th is over, you're done.
I didn't hear too much then.
It was. I called the cops.
Oh, did you?
Really?
Wow.
I stood on. Well, I called. You stay on hold for 15 minutes and then just hang up.
Oh.
Did you call 911 or did you call
No,
477? Yeah.
Because it's not an
I don't
emergency.
even know the number to call.
I had to look it up.
Okay.
So they have a thing where you can report shit online, but
you can.
The trick is it cannot be something that's in progress.
Oh.
If it's in progress, you have to call.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I didn't hear. I heard some, and then the Saturday after I'd hear a couple. But yeah, it was. But yeah, once the 4th is done, like. But our neighborhood was weird. Like, we did our fireworks. The city did their fireworks show on Saturday before.
Oh, okay.
So it was like 5 days before the 4th.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So we had lots of people going bonkers on that Saturday before, because the fireworks show was going on, and so they were doing theirs, and then the 4th came, and everybody did it all again.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, that's fine.
Well, the one over at Sky Sox wraps up probably about 10, doesn't it?
Right around there, yeah.
Yeah,
you see the game.
I heard that one for sure.
Oh, yeah,
so, that one, they go bananas. So.
And that's the thing, yeah, going into like the few days before, yeah, absolutely, go nuts. Like, especially, like, the 1st through the 3rd, I'm expecting this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Ours was actually quiet.
Wow.
Like, I don't even think
our neighborhood was not.
I don't even think we did
ours was not.
anything on the 1st through the 3rd. So it was, but yeah, go on the next door app and everyone's like,
fucking whining. Like
oh
crazy,
my
man.
god,
It's gunfire.
like, no, they're just like, this is disrespectful. I have a dog. We have people with PTSD. We have this. We have
Shut
that.
the
We have
fuck
this,
up.
that.
Fucking Tingus Pingus.
Oh my god, I've changed past life.
And it's just like, oh my god. And then you get people that come on and they're finally like, hey, my dog freaks out. I go on a vacation. I go up in the mountains. I get it. Like, you all deserve, like, this is It's what we do. Like,
Well, like, so the ladies from the clinic, I mean, they asked me, it's like, so you're going to do anything fun for the 4th? I'm like, oh, kind of. It's like, what? I'm like, I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to snuggle with my dog for the night. It's like, she doesn't like it. But, you know, she goes down there. If I'm down there with her, she just, like, cuddles up in my arm. And like, hey, I can think of worse ways to spend a night. A night. That's what I'm saying, is if you're going to be blowing shit up for like 5 days, that's when I get upset.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, it's the holiday. It's my dog that has the problem. I can accommodate that. But if you're going to turn this into a week of terror, then I'm going to call the police. Right? And I'm not trying to be a prude about it or anything like that. It's just like, look, there are people that have the things that you described about pets. I suppose there are some people with PTSD. But that being said, the 4th is the 4th. And I say the day before and the day after, it is what it is. Right?
Anybody went to the VA and said I had PTSD from 4th of July fireworks, they get laughed out of the building.
Well,
That's kind of one of those things that's kind of like, well, that's the one you get used to, buddy. You know?
it's like, well, it's going to happen next year.
What?
fireworks again.
Fireworks are going to happen next year.
They happen every year.
Yes.
So, yeah. No, that's one.
And then everyone, so you'll see now, they're like, let's go with the noiseless one so that we can all send drones up to make pretty little things in the sky.
Those are dumb.
Look,
They're actually pretty.
They're
I don't
fun to
have a problem
watch,
with those either,
but
they're
they
not
don't go
fun.
bang.
It's not
Yeah,
fun.
they just you can't even hear them, man.
No,
So,
we went to the Rockies game and they had a drone show.
Yeah, I seen a drone show,
And it was pretty cool. Like, I was like, it's
kinda fun to watch.
That's pretty impressive.
But it's not
it
the
ain't
same.
fireworks.
Not
Yeah.
burning magnesium. That's not the.
And
It's got no thump.
you can all see it in the stadium, but you ain't seeing it from.
No, you can't
the
see it.
whole-
Well, and if you're on the other side, and if you're facing the
Yeah.
wrong direction,
Exactly.
you're not going to see it anyway. So
And it's a different experience. Part of the experience is you kind of you watch for the cool ones in between. You watch for the slowdown, and then you wait with anticipation when they launch off like 60 of them at the end.
yes,
And you go bananas, and the whole crowd is going crazy.
Right,
Like,
right.
Yeah, this is cool, but the drone, they don't do that.
You're,
They don't do that.
You're not gonna get it. No.
They don't make noises. They don't shoot lasers. They don't-
It's an actual drone war.
Right. They don't open fire on it. I guess I read what was this? This was like a place near San Diego, I think it was, where they said that the computer malfunctioned and everything launched at once at the beginning.
that's the best.
Oh, whoa.
They said it was the shortest, like 15 seconds of their life, but everybody in attendance said it was the coolest thing they had.
It's just a wall of flame.
Kind of, yeah. So I can, if your argument is like, dude, I drove 3 hours from, from
Right,
here to
yeah.
here. All right, fine, that's a fair argument. But I guess everybody was like, I've never seen it this way. It'll never happen again.
I saw there was a YouTube video a while ago where that happened on a barge.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it was like one of the Great Lakes. They, the cities there, they did their thing off a barge, and it blew up like that and sank.
Oh,
Yeah. So, and it was just this. It was like a volcano, a sparkly volcano.
well, Mr. Beast had one of his shows where he spent $5 on a firework all the way up to $1 million worth of fireworks.
Oh my gosh!
And it's pretty cool. Like, the full range of.
I can imagine. Yeah.
It's like, God damn, man. You're like, what can we do? Oh, drop $1 million on fireworks? I'm in.
I saw a story today. Mr. Beast said he'd run for president if he was 35.
Yes.
Yeah, he was asking us to lower the age. I thought he was over 35, but apparently not.
I wonder how old he is.
I'm
He's
35.
like his like
Low 30s?
no, I think he's like in his like late 20s.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's been doing it forever, though.
Well, he started when he was like 14.
Oh, okay.
So he had a
Yeah,
gaming
okay.
channel first.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I still don't like his face. I think his
His North Carolina face.
he does, and he has this weird like fucking chip and
He's got what?
He's got this weird kind of like chipmunk grin.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is just all right. So
Well, some of the guys he works with look like sex pests, so like he's the normal looking guy.
you know what? You're not wrong.
Yeah.
And every week a new story comes out about one of those guys that is.
I don't pay attention to
I
that,
haven't
but I'm
either.
sure that there's been some things, man. You throw a shitload of money at somebody who's 22 years old, they're gonna fuck it up.
Or if they're in their 30s or approaching their 40s and they still have access to a child audience.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, there was another YouTuber. Who was the guy who got rung up for that? Not too
There's
long
a
ago?
fellow named Dr. Disrespect.
There we go.
who,
That's the guy. Yeah.
I didn't ever follow. I knew who he was.
Yeah, no, I remember him from Twitch. So
He's the guy that I always looked at and said, like, I'll bet you that guy. Okay, yeah, it turns out he did.
That's right. That's exactly who I was thinking. He's the guy who wore the dark glasses and that
And the
fucking
mustache.
mop.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he got signed a shitload of money to jump off Twitch and go to what was it? What was the one that lasted like 2 fucking weeks? You know which one I'm talking about.
I do. Give me a minute. I'll bet you. You guys talk. I need to use all my brain right now because it didn't last.
Yeah, no, it didn't last. It was associated with Facebook, wasn't it?
Is it a gamer one?
It was like Twitch. It was a
Oh,
platform
okay.
that was designed for gamer streaming and stuff like that. And they went out and they tried to get a couple guys, and they gave him a truckload of money. So
Yeah, him and that dude named Ninja. They
they both went over there.
They didn't
yeah.
get the women?
No.
No.
So
They were trying. So here's
they're
the thing,
trying to
they
make
were
it
trying
a
to-
trying to
Yeah,
get a game.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Ah.
like people go to the parties where the girls are at, so.
or
you bring the girls to you. So
no. Or the other thing is that you open the place. Did you look into Kick at all? Like I was telling you about.
Oh no, I didn't. I
Kick
forgot
just
about
has no rules.
that. It's gonna turn into frog people pretty quick, Jeff.
Well, what it's bro, it's not frog people. It's basically like anytime you see the videos of prank videos where you're like,
Oh.
why are they not kicking this guy's ass?
Oh, right.
It's
Oh.
from there.
Okay, got it.
The place that you're talking about, I believe it started with an M, but I cannot remember.
It did not.
And I
last.
think-
yeah.
And I think it was associated with Microsoft, believe it or not.
Was it Microsoft?
I think it was. I
Yeah,
think.
because Twitch is Amazon. I think you're right. I think it was Microsoft.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it was, but I don't remember what the name of it was. It didn't last.
Didn't Facebook try and set one up too?
Probably.
It's I'm sure it's well within the realm of things that Facebook tried
Yeah.
and failed within
Yeah,
6 weeks
meltdown.
too. Yes. Yeah. I never hear people on Threads.
I don't think that's still a thing.
No, it's a thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It actually has kind of a logo that I like. That's when I see it. It's like, oh, this still exists.
Oh, okay.
Well, my daughter came up to me and she's like, "Oh, your company buys, lets you have that expense where you get $1,000 for health and wellness that I bought her a VR headset for."
Okay.
She's like, "Do you still get that?" And I was like, "Yeah." Wow.
Why? What do you want? Yeah.
What's on your docket? What did you come across? And she's like, "Oh, Apple has this headset thing." And I was like, "Okay." And so I looked, and it's like your phone. Like, you could see through the headset, so you could see the world,
Yeah.
and your phone is displayed there,
Yeah.
and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, it's
They did that thing with the cardboard box where
yeah.
you did,
And I was like, okay.
where they put your phone in a cardboard box that goes on your face and
And so I was
use your
like,
camera to walk
all right,
around.
I'm not really seeing the super cool aspect here. I was like, all right, how much is this thing?
It's like $3,000.
Yes, $3,400. I was like, she's like, wait, what?
Wait, what?
I'm like, yeah. She's like, no, I get it. No, I was like, who? This doesn't do anything. Like,
Apple's just pulling in money from their early adopter tech nerds. So
Like,
then they
this
use that
is
money to
garbage.
finance car loans. So,
Well, all right. So Apple's had a bad rep, and I would say, well, the Tim Cook years. That's all you have to say. Is innovation is out. So there hasn't been a significant change in phones or product or anything like that since he came out. That dude is super conservative. And so they're losing their reputation on that, but like you said, they're sort of transitioning into like, all right, well, what can we do with a shitload of capital?
They're turning it into a bank.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what they do. They do consumer finance. Yeah, it'll be, like, so they use your entire ecosystem and then just lever the fact that they have Apple Pay linked to it. It's like, basically, they're going to take, like, that whole, like, Elon Musk wanted to do that with Twitter, but the Chinese, what is it that they have? Weibo or something like that.
Yeah.
It's going to be a Weibo, but within that ecosystem. And so you're plugged in, you're going to be part of all those things. If you don't like Apple products, you're not going to be one of their customers. And they don't give a fuck. So, because they got their hooks into all these other guys, and it'll be fine. So, it's like they tried to do that whole thing with the Apple car, and stuff. And
They did.
that completely imploded. Yeah, they tried to take on Elon Musk and do an electric car. The iCar, I don't know.
They tried to make a gaming console.
They tried to make a gaming
Pippin.
console. Yep.
It's called Pippin?
Yes.
Pippin. Yep.
There's a reason you've never seen it.
Right.
Because it died.
Well, and this is the same reason why the Apple Vision thing is going to drop is so I don't know if they sold out of that original like I don't know if like pre-orders like sold the thing out because it's expensive.
It's very expensive.
But the main problem is this is the same problem that a lot of VR developers have is there is just not enough of an install base to warrant making games for it. Everything that you make are basically like little things where it's like grab this slip of paper and put it on this pile it's like, and again the videos are funny where you see the dude like grabbing like the stapler and
try to stab yourself with a knife.
Try to stab yourself with it, and then you do this and it flies in the toilet or whatever. Like that's all that they have because
or you're sitting in a row.
Or you're sitting in a ride, yeah.
Because we went to Bubble Planet.
Make the guy eat the fish.
Or yes, the other ones where it's like, I'm doing surgery, right?
Doing surgery.
So you've got like an actual saw, and you're like, it's
I see those.
Yeah, it's all funny stuff, but you're like, this isn't really. I wouldn't spend $60 on this.
Beat Saber's kind of cool.
What is Beat Saber?
Where it goes to the music of the beats and you're like using like lightsabers.
Oh
yeah.
No, that's
fuck the fucking bowling game.
Well, that's it, exactly. Yeah, they're making basically like shovelware, but that's like that's a good use for the tech because if you're gonna, let's say for example that you were gonna go out there and from start to finish make a fully immersive game in this from top to bottom. Something that is designed to be like a 40-hour experience.
It'd have to be like Avatar.
Yeah, you'd have to have a couple million people who have the thing already in order to make that worth it.
Right.
Oh yeah, I guess you just had to go to the theater.
Exactly.
And they gave you the glasses.
Right.
Yeah. You'd have to have the thing. And like one of those things is like I know people have had them, and so they're neat toys. They play with them for a little bit, but if they do any serious gaming on them, dude, sometimes they really fuck with you. They make you sick. And so
yeah.
So,
and it has great applications in terms of combining with say flight simulator.
They do it with flight simulators, and I've seen that surgery one that they actually do in like medical schools and shit. So yeah.
But yeah, if you're a developer, are you gonna spend, $180 million on something where if I sold one to everyone that has a headset,
you can make some money off it. I mean, there's like indie developers who do stuff in VR. I've seen that.
Well, of course, but that's the
I don't think you're going to get a AAA game out of that until AI actually can take over most of the work.
Well, that's the tricky thing is, so if you're doing it on an indie level, you have way less of a buy-in, right?
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
Well, they had one. So like the kids at school, the elementary school when I went in, and they have a VR headset for each of the kids.
What?
When they rotate through one of their elected their classes, so you get to use this once every 2 weeks, kind of thing, and. Like it is like for elementary kids, like for them to learn with this, like it was literally like you can take apart the house and see, like pull open the wall. See
That's awesome.
Stuff, pull open a heart, look at all the different components, grab bugs, like, and I'm like, I was like, holy crap. And of course I told mom about it. She's like, go buy it. And I'm like, I tried to go buy it. And they're like, it's literally just for schools. Like, they don't even have it where people can just buy this yet.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, oh, huh. Why would I just drop whatever it costs to just buy this? Why? Huh. So I don't know if maybe they make it good enough for that kind of environment, and that the kids are used to using it then as they grow.
Well, there's two problems with VR that are always going to be prohibitive, right? Because the thing is, like, when are we going to get to a point? This is the thing they always talk about with tech and this stuff. So here's the thing: I'm still running a 3090 graphics card in my computer. You're running a 2070, right?
It works fine.
It works fine. The 3090 works fine. There are people that are actually it worked very well. The 40 series is out and has been out for a while. It's not
even worth the price, man.
Well, it's really not. I mean, this is the thing: is the only thing I could do at this point is basically give it a bump in resolution, but I don't care.
No, my eyes aren't that good anymore, but it's also like a lot of games, like if you get to that point in time where you need that level of resolution, it's just because there's so many objects, more so than anything else.
Well, it's not even the number of objects. It's about fidelity, right? And that's the thing is, like, when people talk about the difference between 4K and the difference between HD and standard television was
A lot.
demonstrable.
Yeah.
Right? The difference between 4K and HD is it's there.
Yeah, you can tell it. It was like I can see all the pimples on that guy. And so, but
Correct. But the difference between 8K and 4K does not feel significant.
I don't think I've seen 8K.
I've seen it on displays. I wouldn't buy the shit because
I don't think I've
$10,000 for
Oh,
this
no.
stuff. But like
8K QLED.
yes, but here's the other problem where it comes to VR is when it comes to VR, the difficulty is take whatever you do for a single screen, right? And you have to take that graphics processing power and do it for each eye.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're talking about whatever the top of the line technology is, and you have to duplicate it, right? So it's either that or you take major hits in performance of each eye. So it's going to always feel like the experience is good, right? But it's never going to top what you're going to have looking at a single monitor. So your gameplay is like, I get way much more processing out of doing this on a standard graphics card that I can sell to, I don't know, 8 billion people on this planet
It's on your fucking
versus
phone now.
100,000. And that's if everyone buys one,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So it's sort of tough right there. So, if when they say, hey, it'll come down in price, I'm like, yeah, it will, right? But it's still not going to cross that boundary of...
Not until someone comes up with a novel application for it that works, I mean, there's always like things that come around. It's just like, oh, that's fucking cool. I gotta have that right now,
Sure.
Like that was Red Dead and the Xbox for me. I mean, something's gonna happen somewhere. So
Totally understand. But, I mean,
Yeah.
you're talking about the limitations of the medium. And that's...
yeah, no, I get that.
And one of those will always be handcuffed by being half as essentially powerful as whatever the top unit is. Because then you'd be developing, that would mean that to put it on par with a normal screen, you would be coming out with graphics cards that are essentially twice as powerful as what is available for the home market.
Or you'd have two of them, right?
Yes and no. That kind of works.
Yeah.
That kind of works. Because they've done
I've
things...
seen people do that.
They've done, but
Yeah.
here's the thing: is running dual video cards does not equal twice the power.
No, I understand that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I understand that.
It doesn't work that way.
No, it's not algorithm. It's what do they call that? It's
But if-
cumulative. It's not
But if they
cumulative.
were each running each eye separately, but they timed it so that they fired at the same time.
That would be a huge problem.
Oh, if it wasn't firing at the same time?
Well, I mean,
It'd make you
you'd
barf.
have to. Well, yeah, but that would be the whole thing. Is you get them.
Look, they just haven't designed the killer app for it yet. They'll figure all the hardware shit out once somebody figures out is like this is a thing that you can only play in this experience, and everybody's going to want to play it. So that hasn't happened yet. So, but if it does, then they probably figure something out. So
I don't know, man.
you might be right.
It's a tough thing. It's a tough thing for me to say on that because of the install base issue, right?
Right.
Because it's that snake eats its own tail. If you have a small install base, you're not going to get developers to do this, right? And you're not going to get developers to do this because the install base.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know how that goes. I know how that works. But everybody starts with a small install base. So everybody. So maybe not PC anymore, but even that at one point in time.
PC's different. Yeah,
PC is different.
It's different, and you know what? Okay, so the really difficult days, those are done because when we, I cannot believe this shit. When I was watching some videos about like, it turns out that our Tandy 1000 was actually really quite popular.
Yeah, they were.
Right, and it was. That's the thing is the architecture of a Tandy was different from a Commodore and was different from a
Commodore was made in Britain, man. Of course it was.
Well, yeah. But that's the thing is even though it was made in Britain, the architecture of the ZX Spectrum was different from the Commodore.
I don't know what that
I
is.
don't know.
Again, this is what I'm talking about. There were the TRS 80s from like Radio Shack and stuff. Like all of the architectures were different.
Yeah, they were, and then they got standardized after.
They eventually became IBM compatible.
Yeah, thanks to Hewlett Packard and Dell. So
Well,
yeah.
even before then, but yeah, those
It was
guys
going
really
that way. You think you could still find off-brand machines for a while there.
off-brand.
Yeah.
But I mean,
We had a Commodore Cold, so that was definitely outside of the realm of normal.
absolutely.
Yeah, but it was still technically PC compatible, but
Right. Right. This is what I'm talking about. Is those days are done.
those days are long. Jeff,
Way
I don't
done.
want to use fucking boot discs anymore.
No, you do not.
No, I do not.
No,
Yeah.
You don't. You don't. You don't want to have to do like again. This is the thing is like so for PCs it's easy. It's just scale right at that point. You're gonna make something. It works on all these machines, right? Like consoles have taken it in the shorts big time.
I have, consoles, like, ever since I joined the Master Race.
I ain't going back.
I ain't going back.
Oh, what's the master race?
Well, I used to be strictly a laptop guy.
Oh,
So, and then I had a PC built. And then after that, it was like, wait a minute, I can do Xbox Live on this. So, and the controller works? Great. So,
Right.
and then my Xbox, my Xbone died. So, my 360 still works, but my Xbone,
Your boner.
my boner is
Yeah.
done. So,
Yeah.
it went, like bricked out, dead. Yeah.
the only
And then
time
I was like, my daughter was like, "Oh, you gonna go get a new one?" You know, because we were playing a game at the time. I was like, "Nope." So I was like, "Let me just get on Steam."
the only time the kids use the Xbox is if there's more of them in the room. So there's 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're all on their own devices.
Yeah, but you can't even do that on a PC. So
You can't.
Not in the same room, though. Really,
you can. Oh yeah.
can,
If
but-
you had separate monitors or something big enough to cast to, like a TV, you could totally do it.
But that's the thing. You'd have to take it and set it on the TV
You would have to set it on the TV. So,
because you wouldn't play
you
the
could
game
pair
cast.
4.
but you're gonna do the same thing
controllers
with
to it and
console
all that
anyway.
stuff?
You just plug them in.
Yeah, you just plug them in.
Okay.
So, like, you just need an anchor splitter for that. And,
Gotcha.
Yeah, you don't even need that. You just need 4 slots.
well, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay,
yeah.
yeah. You do that.
Yeah, 4 USB slots. You're fine.
And yeah, they also do have like Bluetooth adapters and things like that. Because because that was the other thing. That was the other setback for PCs for a long time. Controllers on PCs
We're ass.
fucking garbage.
They were garbage.
I can point you to something known as the Gravis gamepad.
I remember the Gravis gamepad. It was 9-pin, wasn't it?
It was 9-pin.
Yeah.
It was 9-pin. It looked like it was going to be a good controller.
It sucked.
It was
I had one.
balls, and that was the only choice for a long
Yeah,
time.
it was. So, either that or you're playing Indiana Jones with your fucking joystick.
Yes, yeah. Now again, you didn't have joysticks on consoles that much, because they weren't doing like flight sims and stuff like that.
No,
Flight sims on consoles, yeah, they were kind of fun, but
I never did one.
very arcadey.
Well, yeah, except for like F-117 stealth. It's like,
Yeah.
you land it by looking to the side of the plane. It's like that'd be impossible. It's like I can't tell how far away the runway is. So
Yeah, so that's one of the things they're fighting with right now is there a way to do this? And so Nintendo's the only one that has that figured out right now. Like the Switch they're going to do a Switch 2. It's going to work because the element of you taking it out and walking away with it is the component that works.
yeah, that works really well. Like even when I was just flying last time, fucking there's so many people who have those things.
Yep.
Yeah, there's no problem with the install base there. So.
And like I have no problem with like the Steam Deck, but that is clunky as shit.
I've never actually seen one, so I mean, like I've seen them like on YouTube and stuff, but I've never seen somebody with one. So like, hey, let me check that out. I've never seen.
Oh, okay. They're big. I mean, that's.
I don't know, man. I've never seen one.
I love the idea of like, well, hey, I can still play all of my PC stuff on this, but then again, then there's a component of, well, I don't want to play Civilization 6 like this.
Yeah, no.
So it's sort of, it is what it is. Like Nintendo has it figured out; they're gonna be fine. But the other two guys, they're in trouble. They don't know what to do. They've already sold out their heavy hitters to PC, so.
Yep. I wonder if even Call of Duty has more PC players now than it does console players.
I wouldn't know.
I don't know the answer to that.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, because that was the thing. It used to. Well, they're probably waiting for GTA 5. So I heard that GTA 5 or GTA 6 is going to drop on console before it drops on PC.
Probably.
So, yeah, they did that on a couple games recently too. So they drop it on console, and then it takes a little while to get to PC.
Well, like Stellar Blade that came out on.
Yep.
But I mean that's few and far between. If you're asking me like,
You're right.
Can I wait on one game? It's like, yes. All right. So I had some bad luck with games recently. Okay, I gave up on Kingdom Come Deliverance, and it's not a bad game, but it is. It's just so gut. What you want to do is you want to play this dumb game, and you want to go out there. What you really want to do, and this is what really ticked me off, was I know it's set in the 1400s. Okay, I get it, and I know that the Crusades are over, right? I want to stab up some Muslims, but I can't.
You want it to be CK3, but not suck, and you could actually use your sword.
Sort of,
Yeah.
and I don't mind doing the combat against other Europeans. That's fine. Okay, I don't care, but there is so much fucking boring medieval shit in between the stabbing up people with the clunky fighting and stuff.
What is this? Is it a strategy game?
No, it's a first person.
Oh, okay.
It's a first person. The best way I can say it is medieval life simulator.
Yeah, no, I don't think I get past the title card on that. First person in sword games is just not.
Well,
I've never seen it done well, man.
Would it be like a boxing game?
You're not too far off. You're not too far off. Like so.
Well, actually, boxing I always did from
Yeah, you do it from the
side view.
Yeah.
You do it from the side view. There are some games that you do from a rear view. So,
Yeah.
like, Mike Tyson's Punch Out is famously like
that's
that.
right. That's right.
Or you do it with transparencies or stuff like that. But the thing about this is, it's first person. And you think about it, you say, like, what could go wrong? All right? When it comes to sword combat, I would argue that it could become very complicated or very simple very fast. Right? There was this game on the PC called Die by the Sword back in the day.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Okay. So the trick on this one was, and this is where they thought this was going to change the game. It didn't. I bought it. I didn't like it. Right? Was you're supposed to use the mouse as your
Sword.
sword. Right?
And then you block.
All right. Think about that for a second. Think about how that would work and how it wouldn't.
I just don't think you could keep up with your mouse.
You just scribble on guys.
Okay,
man.
so
There's no weight. There's no
Yeah.
balance. There's nothing to it.
This is the same thing where they say, like, why hasn't, like, lightsaber combat or something like that ever felt like visceral in a game? Well, back in the day, okay, they did this once. There was something called it was called the force feedback control, right? You may have seen this at Best Buy. Nobody bought one because they were expensive, right? But the whole idea was that within this was basically like a motor that would feedback against your actions, right? So, like, if you clanged somebody, right, you'd turn the thing and it would, like, stop.
Oh, I see.
Wow.
Okay. Potential problems, guys. Think about what could go wrong with that.
You're gonna break it immediately.
Okay, he didn't even need to think about it.
Immediately. Yeah.
Because the cool idea behind this wasn't just swinging a sword around. It's like, so if you're driving or flying a plane and there's resistance, right, because you're going into a hard turn, that's the same kind of thing there, right there.
Yeah. Push harder, Homer.
Right. So there's like some genius to this, but it doesn't quite work. So the same thing with, all right, so if I'm just moving the mouse on this, right, Pat got it right. It's like, well, I don't feel the weight of it. The mouse isn't feeling the weight of it.
No, we just
right?
scribble on that guy.
So you just scribble on it, and you look stupid. It doesn't work great, okay? But it still has sort of like an in-game momentum that you're trying to do, but your brain thinks faster than that, right? So Kingdom Come, and this is where I have to give it credit, is it gives a weight to your weapons, right? Unapologetically. It says it's going to be clunky. And the way this works is there are 5 directions out here, right? These are directions that you can block. These are directions that you can swing, right? So you can poke at people with the right bumper.
This is the boxing way again.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the boxing one.
But the thing is, when you're going to swing, okay, you hold in this button, okay, and you press in this direction to make yourself go like this. You release, and they'll move in that direction. That is how you get people to see I'm going up like this, so you can adjust and try to hit them low, that kind of thing. It's not bad. It took 20 hours to figure out how to do this in a way that I was like, because the rest of it was like, this, fuck, I hate everything about this. Like, why do I keep dying? Why do they keep kicking my ass, right? Once you figure it out, it's pretty cool, right?
But who's going to put 20 hours in it?
there's plenty of nerds who love that
There
stuff.
are people that are at 800 hours with that game,
there are plenty of nerds who would love that kind of game.
right?
I don't know. Every sword game that I've ever played, that was either in first person became that. You either jam on the click or you're scribbling on his face.
Thank you, yes.
And then, even the ones where they try and slow you down is like, well, you have an axe. And it's like, zoom, and it's like, you're still doing this.
Oh, you're moving more
you're
than
still
they
moving
can.
way
Yeah.
more than it can actually do, and then you just get frustrated with it. That's why, like, ever since, what was it, the Batman game, and then they started doing sword combat based on, and that's what they did in The Witcher. That's just, like, perfect. It's like, all right, this works. I like this. It's fun to watch. Okay, it's still got some technical pieces to it that are cool. The one thing that I hated about first-person sword games is you get disoriented so fast. Like, in a shooter, you're always looking downrange. But, in one of these games, you got like 5 guys are up in your grill.
That's
I hate
exactly the
that.
problem.
I
That
hate
is
that.
exactly the problem. Because, all right, how do you manage? This is the exact problem I have.
How do you choose which one you're going at if you're trying to just...
So you can press a button to target an individual person, right? But that's the thing is, so the game is going to go into one of 2 categories, right? You're either going to have the classic problem that they have with Kung Fu movies, where it's like, why are 30 guys here and it's just one person after another jumping in, right? Or they're going to gang up on you and you will die. And this game is unapologetic about this is weapon combat. You get knocked like 2 or 3 times in a row, you die.
You die.
You get knocked like once or twice, you start bleeding.
Yep.
And you can't apply bandages in combat, right?
No, you have to run away first.
And if you're running and you're bleeding, you have
a time
disadvantage.
Your little bar's going down.
And they will kill you.
Yeah.
Or, so that's the thing is, when it comes down to individual combat, works great. When it comes down to 2 guys, not bad, right? You have a group of people, what ends up happening is you start moving backwards, and you count on the dumbass AI to get hung up on trees, or so that they have to work their way around so that you're ultimately just fighting one guy at a time, right? And the game has techniques for like, well, do this when there's crowds. I ain't fighting a crowd. They'll kill me. It doesn't matter. Again, I have to give the game credit. It's like, look, I'm wearing this expensive armor, right? But the fact is, even 5 children with weapons wailing on me will make me die because they're weapons. Yeah. So I have to give it credit. It doesn't let you OP this and say, like, check out my armor. I'm going to walk into this base, and I'm going to slap away your arrows. They're just going to bounce off me. No. So you take that clunky combat, do that with 5 people like this. I can't do this. This is retarded, right? And then take the rest of it of like, look, every game like this falls into this. It's like either like, I need help. How? Tell me, what kind of help do you need? Do you need me to deliver this for you and bring something back?
Do you need me to take you there?
Do you need me to take you
fight
there?
Fight off the wolves.
Do you need me to fight off the wolves?
Yeah.
Do you need me to...
do you need me to get these 3 ingredients so you can make this one thing for me?
That is correct. Yeah. It's like, you have problems with wolves? Would you like me to kill 5 of them and bring back their pelts?
Can you sneak into this place without getting detected, and make sure that you fetch my teddy bear? So, yeah. I've been through all of them.
Will, this is not a routine. This is not a bit.
Nah, it is every fucking game, man.
So it couldn't escape that part of it of just this same kind of thing. It's like, hey, could you talk to my brother, the miller? It's like, you know what? I'm going to. And I'll bet you he needs something from me in return.
Yeah.
What does he need?
What is he going to need? I don't know. Like, I'm missing the tools because I can't finish my carpentry job.
I'm missing a tool. It's like, you know what? I've been waiting on the shipment from here.
Yeah.
I'm afraid it may have been taken over by bandits. Could you go look at this?
Could you go look at this? So,
all right. Well, sure.
Bring the offenders to justice. Can you
what
make me
would be a
potion?
better way of facilitating the adventures that you're supposed to
look? You have to have some of this.
Okay. It depends. You have to set up what kind of game it is in the beginning, and so if it's going to be like an adventure game, okay, that shit's unavoidable. Because basically what you're doing is you're taking like a novel. All right, this is a story in this novel. I'm going to write 10 different endings for this. There's going to be paths to each one of these. Okay, and so regardless of how you get to one of those endings, there's going to be certain choke points within this game, all right, that you're going to have an inflection point where you have to make a decision which will open up or close a tree kind of thing. And then, and then on top of that, like, I have to find things to entertain you so you're just not going, quest A, B, C, D, done. In the game, because then people bitch about that when they say my game was only 8 hours long and you charged me $70 for it.
But then what's funny is that you look at the play times.
I know.
And 90% of the people play the game 4 hours and stop.
That doesn't fucking matter. They still buy it. Yeah. So, so if you're going to have that kind of game, that's kind of game. Like, now there's other games out there that are just like, see, I was kind of curious about this one if it was like an open sandbox type like game. Like there's a war game that I play where, I'm a terrorist and, like I have to steal a car and then recruit guys and then steal weapons and then take over towns. And eventually now I'm up to the point in time where I have fucking helicopters and tanks and all kinds of shit. And I had to grab all this stuff and it's all first person and it never tells you what to do. It's just like, all right, there's a military base over there. It sends out convoys every now and then. Let's go see if we can grab one, So I set up an ambush, kill a whole bunch of guys, and, in the name of Allah. And, yeah.
Oh, no.
No. Actually, I'm the good guys, I think. I don't know. So,
You're the good terrorists?
I guess. So we all wear American gear, so.
All
right. Like that one, there's no missions. There's no, like, go do this, go do that.
Nobody's buying your services and telling you to.
Huh. But the thing about it is that world feels very empty. Okay, because there's cars and there's people who walk around, but I walk up to a dude. He's just he can't, like, he won't say like, "Oh, my daughter, can you please rescue?"
Gotcha.
He's just a dude. He's just a target. So he's collateral damage if I mortar the town.
Yes.
Yeah. And so that's hard, man. So you got to kind of decide what kind of game you're going to make. So in the beginning, because if you try and do a little bit of both, it never fucking works.
Do any of these games have like one of the characters you're supposed to kill be like, but my kid, my son is.
Oh, always.
All the time.
All the time.
And
Yeah.
You have to decide whether. Okay.
Well, oh god, like some games are so bad at this, like
Oops.
yeah, like The Witcher and Cyberpunk. There's like no good choices. You know, you go through it and you're like, okay, I think this is the right thing to do, and the game punishes you for actually making moral judgments. So, because yeah, you go in there and be like, oh well, obviously I'm going to protect the common man, and then you find out that that dude was a rapist later on. Or you go the other way and you say, no, I'm going to kill this guy, and then you find out he has a bunch of family and now his kids starved. It's like, you motherfuckers, fucking pingus. Why can't nothing around here have a good outcome?
Well, especially, look, the worst, I would argue the worst ones of those games are the ones that actually assign you permanent and good bonuses for maxing out the morality thing, because all that does is
do that.
it. Well, there's quite a few that was popular for a long time, where it's like the you will get the best abilities by following out these moral things, and all it does is it erases your thought. Right? You no longer moralize about the question. You just say, well, what's the dark side answer?
Right.
What's the light side
Yeah.
answer? Right?
Yeah, there were some games like that
Quite
in
a
the past
few.
where you would actually unlock really cool shit if you
If you maxed
Stayed on
out
the
those,
path
some
of
kind of
whichever way.
yeah.
yeah.
See, the game that did it right was Red Dead. It never gave you anything good or bad, so people just give you shit about it. It
Well,
was perfect.
so I mean,
know.
Fallout had a karma system, which was kind of
Fallout
like
did
that.
have a
And
karma system.
It also had basically, like, Fallout's different thing is factions, right? Is you can piss off people of a certain group, or you can be in good with certain groups, right? So in theory, that works out. But I mean, it's so like minor. It doesn't feel like it really
it
changes.
wasn't even really part of it.
It just means that different people attack you on sight or call you names.
yeah, it would spawn some random events here and there.
You know,
Just depends on the
it's tough.
game.
I again, you're right. There's this. Sometimes if you do it down the middle, I mean, it gives you like a little brief illusion of it, right?
Yeah,
Which is cool. When it all comes down to it, it's just, are the quests any good or not? That's
that's
the
true.
thing.
Yeah,
Is focus.
and some
on that.
games are
Fuck the
better at
morality
that than
system.
others. Yeah, like Cyberpunk was pretty good about that. So, you know, I mean, except for like the GTA thing, you get in trouble with all the fucking cops. You know,
Well, and that was
that was fun. You know, start chasing
that
you
was
with Max Stack.
that was a known quantity.
It was a known quantity. It was
just.
just like, how many cops can they send? And then they would find out quickly, way more than you can handle.
Not true.
Well, later, not true, but yeah, the first time, a couple times I did that with the new mod or whatever it was, the new update. But then, like, Starfield was dumb, man. It was just like none of your choices mattered. It was like, you know, everything was like, you know, I can't even put it. There was an example in there. You and I were bitching about it on the podcast.
Oh yeah, there was this like raider mission, and when you got to General Matumbo, and it was
Right, you're going to jail regardless, and so you get to go one way or the other. You know, but it was like a predetermined outcome regardless of what you choose.
well, you had like 3 outcomes, and they were, are you going to help these guys? Are you going to help these guys? Or are you going to help nobody?
right.
And all led you to jail.
No, they all kind of led to the same thing. So yeah, that game was so poorly done. It's such a disappointment. So
I'm not going to go back in there, and I know that they have new DLC and stuff,
I'm done.
but it wasn't good enough.
no, if I wanted to play a space game, I'd actually probably get into No Man's Sky now. So
Probably.
yeah,
I mean,
maybe I'll put that in my wish list, see if it goes on sale. So
I think it's pretty. I think it's on sale a lot of times too. But
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, so I gave up on that. I'm like, all right, well, let me play like a combat game. So I'm like, you know what? I haven't played. I've never tried the Monster Hunter games. So like, all right, let me try this.
I never played those.
Didn't miss out.
Yeah, exactly. We just reset.
So
You just went into instant lockdown.
the thing is, all right, there is this trend right now, right, where everybody says that Dark Souls was the epitome of combat games, right?
Oh, that kind of combat.
Well, I think Dark Souls' combat is fucking balls. All right?
I've never played it.
I have, and I played it, and I returned it before 2 hours was up. Why? Because, all right, what is it people are always counting at the end of this after they do their streams? How many times they died. The whole thing about this is this person died 249 times. I did it 241. I'm better.
Fuck that game.
Well,
fuck everything about that game.
Again, it doesn't. All it is basically a lot of like boss encounters, and all it is just you do one of two things. You sit there and die a whole bunch of times, so you can look at like, all right, it's 2 swipes and then a bite. Sometimes he does 3 swipes and then a bite.
Stuff. My brain does not work like that.
Look, it's
so bad
all memorization on this, and the combat to me just doesn't click. I'm like, because all it is light attack roll, because it's just you're just abusing the iframes of the stupid roll. So all you're doing is taking 1 swipe, rolling away, rolling like 4 times, right? And they're like, this is genius. I'm like, no, this is dog shit.
That's terrible gameplay. Yeah,
because
exactly.
You don't have good. I'm like, all right, fine. So I'm like, let me try something else. Let me try Monster Hunter. It's Souls-like. I'm like,
the exact same thing. Yeah.
Fuck. So
I know there's a big following for that combat system that they have in there, and it's supposed to be like this hardcore mode, kind of thing. But
yeah, but it's,
I don't know, man. So like, if I'm gonna play with swords and boards, man, it needs to move pretty fast. I don't like games where like even the expansions, like in The Witcher, they make you fight some heavy duty bosses. I don't like those.
I think that's fine. It's just
well, that gets in that whole thing. It's like, okay, he's going to do this is strong attack, this is weak attack, he's going to do this is when he's vulnerable. It was like, you know what, fuck this. So I should just be able to stab him.
So
like all the other guys that I had to get through in order to get here. So
look, and you can make that argument for that, but I like it a little bit differently, where basically like games do have, look, they're action heavy. You go out there and you use a lot of different attacks, right?
Yeah.
And there's going to be a dodge mechanic that's worthwhile. This is why I love the Bayonetta games, Metal Gear Rising, all these things. So there was one out there that I never played called Nier Automata. All right, I'm playing that right now. Super fun.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, super fun. Yes, it took me a while. I'm like, you guys are so like incestuously in love with Dark Souls and Dark Souls combat that you guys have cloned this through and through, and it sucks on all of you.
Well, and they did that with a lot of shooters too, man. Everything was a Call of Duty clone after a long enough time. So,
It is, and it's funny because Call of Duty was a Medal of Honor clone at one time.
It was. I played the original of both of those. So, yes.
Because the same team went over from...
They defected. Yes. I'm retired from that. Yeah. I can't think that fast.
I was thinking about it, man.
I can't do it, man. I can't do it.
I'm the same. Like, I still just can't aim.
Yeah.
I can't roll around the corner and have it lined up on your head, or be able to spin and turn. Because I'll play with the kids sometimes. And
what are they playing?
And there's a Roblox game called Arsenal that's like
basically a Call of Duty. Yeah,
but they just wind me up, and I'm easy fodder. So it's still fun, but I never could do that before. I could never just pop and then do have a pistol. I'm useless.
It's theoretically possible I could do that still. I just don't know if I can.
I would play that with you guys against the computer. I don't want to play other humans ever again.
Oh, I do. I have fun just going in the arena and getting slaughtered, but
that makes my blood pressure go up.
I was never great at it, so losing never.
I got to the point in time where we would chase guys out of places.
I would have thrown the controller and all that stuff a long time ago if I was going to let that bother me, because I just can't.
It's an insult to me personally. It's like, what, you think you're better than me? Is that what you think? Or you think this is
still your 17-year-old brain, man?
I know,
man. I don't want to reawaken mine.
No, I don't either.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a bad thing.
I take pills to put it to sleep. Guys.
Right.
I felt that way because I was looking for validation in dumb ways.
Yeah.
it's meaningless.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, it doesn't feel good when and I was playing Street Fighter 6 for a while, right? Like, it's not a bad game. It's quite good. I just feel like I've reached the limit of my execution abilities. It's like
I've definitely and I'm getting really rusty with any kind of strategy game. And it's just like
What if you had to play chess?
I tried that the other day. I suck. I am terrible at it. So
probably pretty impatient with it too.
Yes, that's my problem.
That is,
And like it's like, well, let's try this and just see if it works. And so that app got deleted off my phone.
Well, that's it. You guys with the kids. If I had a kid or something like that and they were into chess, I'm like, I will spend as much time as you do. I will work on this to challenge you to challenge me.
See, my daughter's into chess. She refuses to play me.
What?
Well,
Yeah, she does not. She's like, Daddy, I want to learn it on my own. So it's like, I don't want your help. And it's like, okay. Yep.
Oh.
No. So, yep. It's like, all right, great.
Is she planning on playing you eventually?
I doubt it. So yeah, she's like, I want to learn it on my own. I was like, okay. So
that I do not get. I mean, like, we can make we can take trips. We can.
We don't even have to. Like, I won't teach you. I'll just play against you.
Right.
I'm a battling dummy here. You might whoop my butt.
Well, I'd be like reading shit. Like, I maybe like
see, that's exactly what she does not want. So she just wants to figure it out. So
like, I've played William.
She does not want to be taught how to play chess. She wants to learn how to play chess.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah.
William some, and there's been some times that I'll do a move, and I went in my head. I'm like, oh fuck, and he doesn't see it. And I'm like, all right. Or I catch him in a move, and I'm just like, wow, I am really bad at this. He's gonna beat me before too long. Because damn it, I am making some bad moves.
No, that comes from Minecraft and video games. So a few times that I tried to teach her how to play Minecraft, she's just like, Daddy, shut up. Let me figure it out. Yeah. So, because I would tell her, no, you got to do this and you got to do that. She's
well,
like,
I've never done that.
It's never the way. It's like what
I am straight up asking for help on these things.
Yeah.
See, I knew too much about it.
So okay, I've never.
And then the same thing. She and I played the Hogwarts game together for a little bit, and then I was showing her how to do moves and stuff like that. She's like just lost interest in it. And then just like at the beginning of this summer, she started playing it again, and now she's beaten it like 3 times. So
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, great. So like, how's gaming going? She's like, it's fun. I was like, great. So
the thing is, you can't stop and say like, that's wrong. What do you mean it's fun? It's not supposed to be fun.
I would never say that. You would say that. You would be like, you're supposed to be up for breakfast. You gotta get your prep in every single day. So make sure you're taking your beta carotene.
How do I play this game? Well, daughter, this begins with diet. So
right, yeah, exactly. So what do you know about Confucius?
Well, they gotta know how many hours of sleep you get last night. Okay. Well, I hate to bring it to you. This is the last good night's rest you're gonna get for a long time.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like I already went and bought you PT clothes.
Well, see, if people, I get a huge kick out of number one, if something does have depth, whatever it is to it, and there's another person that's committed to like, oh, I'm so about exploring the complexities of it, where it's like, you studied in your off time, you're like, okay, so I read these moves, okay, I'm gonna try this. Did he read these, right? I can get way into that. And it's not, it's at that point it is friendly but heated competition. Right? You don't want to lose, but it's not a like, you fucking cheater. It's like, no, it's you're both going at it with all of your brain. I love that. But if anybody is any percent less committed than the other, it becomes anti-fun real fast.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I never put any effort in outside of actually just doing it. In my job, in my games, in my, like, anything.
like this is the thing that's tough for me is like, is it like this at every level? Like, are there, when you get to the NFL, right? Are there guys that are straight up, I play the game. I mean, like, I go to practice when coach makes me go.
Oh,
right.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. Because some people are just naturally talented.
Yeah.
They don't need to put in the work. So
But if they put in more work, they could be even more productive.
I don't think they care.
They don't
But that's
care.
the thing. Like, it's like, how could you possibly think this way?
Very easily, yes.
Because you know how much effort, how much work it takes me to do when I'm gonna get off?
Oh,
Nothing.
Right?
So I'm gonna go enjoy my time.
Yeah.
You can spend 10 hours in the gym.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have some beers and kick back at the club and
I'm gonna go cause some trouble, and yeah.
Yeah. See you in the news.
Yeah. Don't block my number. I may need to call
I
you.
might need to call you. Yeah, exactly. So, in fact, why don't you call me in about 3 hours and just check? Yeah.
Did you read that story about the guy who was who went hiking and got lost?
For 7 fucking days?
The guy who they kept calling.
What the hell was that?
sounds like something just died on your roof.
Yeah. Okay, anyway.
We'll keep listening.
We didn't hear a roll all the way
Yeah,
down or
exactly.
whatever.
Yeah, it might have just been a squirrel. So.
Could have been a squirrel. Could have been a
Fattest
raccoon.
squirrel.
Well, I do get raccoons up there. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
so
probably
it could be a
exactly what
big
it
fat
was, yeah.
raccoon up there.
Yeah, anyway,
But
this is a guy who went like hiking. It was supposed to be back in the afternoon. He wound up spending like 7 days in the California wilderness.
well, I think this is the same guy where they kept calling him, but he didn't answer
Yeah.
because I don't answer. He thought they were all scam calls.
Oh, no. But this guy was lost?
Yeah.
But he wasn't answering because they were
He thought they were scam calls.
they were reaching him out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
That is correct.
And he was lost.
Well, then his phone works. Why isn't he calling?
Yeah, no fucking shit. Yeah.
You're not wrong. I don't think this is the guy that was lost for 7 days. I think he
No,
was
no,
lost
that
for
guy
4
did not have a cell phone.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, what the hell? You're like, well, I'm not gonna answer that. Plenty of people. Where the hell am I?
If there was somebody I could call to come pick me up. So it's like
Damn it!
an
It's nothing but
emergency.
spam.
Yeah.
Why doesn't anybody love me?
What is that thing that I call when it's an emergency? No, I did not see that one.
Okay,
Jeff.
all right,
That's hilarious. I'll have to go look for that one. What else? There was a couple of inches. So I don't know what it was, but there was like a slew of shark attacks last week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am always fascinated and horrified
Wow.
by those. So there apparently there's one shark.
Do
that
you
bit-
go in the water?
Fuck no, never.
No, why are you horrified?
I don't know, man. It's just like one of those things where
If it gets anybody, then you feel.
I know it's just like I start thinking about, oh my god, that'd be awful. So having your leg fucking bone stripped by
You
a
ever
shark.
had a dream or anything like that?
All the fucking time.
Really?
Yes. Yes. So being masticated by sharks or tyrannosaurs or aliens or
I don't think I've ever been. Like, have you lost like a limb being bitten off?
I've been killed multiple times.
I've been killed, but I don't think I've ever lost a limb.
No.
Oh,
See, now I'm gonna have that tonight, man.
If I just kill a raccoon.
That was good for a little bit. And now it's coming back. So, but no, apparently it was like one shark that bit 4 different people on one beach. So, and then it swam away. So that motherfucker's still out there. It got away.
Do people do in the ocean like what they do on land if there's like a feral bear that's been.
They try and find it.
They
Yeah.
all get on the boats with guns and ride out into the ocean and.
They try and catch it, yeah. So there was who was it? It was a guy. He was a famous surfer. He was actually in a couple of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Oh yeah, I saw.
He got murdered
Yeah,
like 2
yeah,
weeks ago
yeah.
off a beach that he'd been surfing
I didn't
on
know who he
since
was,
he was like
but yeah.
4. So yeah. So they just found pieces of him. It's like ah.
Yeah,
I don't think that's on my roof.
that one wasn't.
No.
One earlier.
It was definitely
It was
under roof.
definitely.
Yeah. It was just a squirrel or something. It wasn't big.
Oh, I'm listening for it now. But yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, that was what was clogging on my news feed.
Well, I admit I didn't listen to the episode, but I'm just curious how you guys reacted to the debate.
Oh God!
Did you guys just laugh the entire?
We discussed that twice.
Was it just straight laughing? The whole time.
No, man, it's sad. So,
Gotcha.
I mean, he deserves it. He did it to himself, but still, you know.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
I don't think he entirely did that to himself, but then again, it's been my argument that, he's been on vacation 40% of the time. There's people that have been in charge of his campaign, still in charge of it now, and they're telling him what to do. Yeah.
Who's in charge of his campaign?
Well, right now, his wife.
Oh no, I meant his actual campaign manager. Do you know who that is?
I'm not sure. It could be any of the list of fucking sideshow freaks that he's invited into his cabinet, but I can't tell you.
Well, I like some of the guys in his cabinet, but I don't think they're in charge of his campaign.
Because that dude, based on his entire history, is and never was down with the agendas that. No. And
you don't think he's learned over time and grown as a human being? And
no, because he is shrinking and regressing as a human being. That capacity is now gone.
Wait, what?
He can't be growing mentally at this point.
Oh, no. Okay, I guess that's what you're talking. I'm sorry, you guys are losing me there.
No, because all of the ship's energy is just trying to prevent implosion, right? It is.
Oh, okay.
Much like Cable with the mutant legacy virus. Like, he can't be that strong because he's always fighting off the techno-organic virus.
True.
Right? So, that's where he is right now.
Fair enough.
He cannot be learning.
Someone was trying to explain the difference the other day between dementia and...
Like senility.
No, it's not just senility. It was...
Parkinson's?
No, he doesn't have Parkinson's.
There was a Parkinson's consultant at the White House.
Well, they might test him for it. I don't know. But he doesn't have the shaky shakes. I've known people who have Parkinson's, so you get the shaky shakes, man. So
you do.
The guys on the rig.
You get the shaky shakes often way before you lose your mind.
Different reasons.
So, yeah.
Well, no, because I don't have a sense of smell.
Oh.
What's that?
I guess that's one of the first indicators that you're getting Parkinson's, is that you don't have a sense of smell.
Can be, but there's a lot of different ways you can... I just went through all those tests last year.
Oh,
so,
right.
yeah. So, like, the way they diagnose this is they put you in the machine, all right, and, take pictures of your fucking brain. So, and then Parkinson's is actually, it's got a distinct signature on it, so you can diagnose it almost right away, regardless.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So,
what's the other one? ALS or
no, it's dementia, and then the other one is I can't.
Alzheimer's?
No, yeah, you think it's Alzheimer's, but it's two common words that people use to basically say the same thing about like old age and senility, but they actually mean very different things. So, like dementia is. You feel sound in your mind, okay, on the inside, okay, but you cannot actually take into consideration what's going on around you with any accuracy. Okay, so the inside mind is, it's clear, okay, but when I start talking to you, it sounds like gibberish, okay?
That's what I had.
You had dementia.
I guess so.
Yeah, okay.
That sounds a lot.
So, yeah.
Well, I don't think I was fully processing internally either. But,
Right.
Hard to say.
Yeah, I couldn't express whether I was or not, but yeah.
And the other one is completely the opposite. Is like there's
Where
nothing.
Things aren't firing.
There's nothing firing on the inside, but when you're talking to someone, they can actually respond to you in ways that seem okay, but there's no meat behind what's actually been going on. So there was this thing that I was watching. They're trying to figure out what he had going on. So,
Where you think you're in the wrong year and stuff like that.
that exactly.
Yeah.
So, but that kind of leads to Alzheimer's. But there's another common word for it. So, yeah, I can't remember it right off the top of my head. So,
Nor can I.
I'm not thinking of it either.
Yeah.
And as soon as I hear it, I'll be like, oh,
I know exactly.
course, yeah.
That's why I don't want to give too much. It's gonna come to one of us eventually. Probably in like 5 minutes in the middle of another conversation.
Right. Oh yeah.
Well, you weren't here for it. So, what are your thoughts?
How much of it did you watch?
I watched probably 2/3 after,
Okay.
and because I watched some of the after shows
Yeah.
and the
shows? Oh, my
commentary of it.
Which one were you watching?
I started on Fox and it went so bad that I switched to CNN.
Really? What did CNN say about it?
They were shredding it.
Oh yeah.
Like they're just like that was, and you know, some guys would try and find the silver lining and be like all this kind of thing, and then say how Trump is evil and all this kind of stuff. But there were plenty of them that were just like, that's bad. Like that was so bad.
So
And, like having heart attacks on air. Like I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah, the one that so I didn't watch any of the after shows, but then after a couple days, then it started hitting some of the analyst guys that I do watch, and one of them actually showed Rachel Maddow's reaction.
Yeah.
So, which was they actually felt bad for her because they're like she wasn't actually plugged in to what was going on. So, because like halfway through the debate, when they started release, oh, he's got a cold and stuff like that. The spin started already.
Yeah.
She was not plugged into any of that,
No.
and so when she started, well, you know, he finished really strong and stuff like that, and then they bring on Barack Obama's campaign manager. A minute later, and he's like, that was horrifying. So this is what I think he used the words, this is DEFCON 1. Yeah. And that was on MSNBC, you know, which of course is going to be the most, you know, lenient. But I didn't know that CNN tore him to pieces. I mean, I'm not surprised because, like, they didn't pull any punches on him. So, and they certainly didn't do him any favors with the split screen.
Well, like he couldn't even get his pre-programmed speech out. Like
he couldn't get his opening statement.
Yeah, like, you couldn't get it from start, man.
And he had all the questions. They both had all the questions before that started. So, and it's like, how the fuck?
Well, and again, the sheer amount of excuses where he said, you know what, I was jet lagged after an international flight. It's like, you've been practicing for 7 days.
Yeah,
13 days.
Well, no,
he was there for 13
They said he was
days.
practicing for that for 7 days, but he was home for 13
He was
days.
home for 13 days. Well, he wasn't home. He was at Camp
David.
Yeah.
Which is home. I mean, it's,
It's everybody's home.
It's not like we practice in a fucking Motel 6.
I was just about to say that. I was thinking the exact same thing.
You got all the guys in the nice suits hanging out at the hotel suites. Fuck that shit. No. So
the bathtub with missing
but I think
tiles.
Trump did great at just being like, keep
didn't
going.
have to say shit.
Yeah, just, you keep.
No,
Did any of you understand? Like,
It's like
Yeah.
I don't know what he said there, and I don't think he does either.
I'm like,
That's it.
Damn,
You can stop
man.
right there.
He did. He played it really cool. So he played well until he started talking about golf swings. So
yeah,
You know what? And nobody's really crucifying him for that.
no,
anyway.
nobody. Well, it's kind of like one of these like, oh, look at those two old men arguing about their golf swings while the world burns. You know, that's
Yeah.
the criticism that you hear. It's not directed towards
I think
Trump.
CNN was stressing the fact that he still wouldn't admit the vote if it didn't go his way.
He'll never do that. He'll never do that.
That was one of the things they were harping on and all that stuff.
I don't think he has anything to worry about anymore.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, even Biden's guy, he came out like 2 days ago. He said, Obama's guy, and he was like, "Look, either Joe wins by a razor thin margin, or it's like the biggest blowout in like recent American history."
He's not going to win.
Well, no, this is because they were asking him like, what are the possibilities?
Dude, there are so many states just in the last couple days that, you know, they've had some new polling come on. You know,
They're starting to get close to double digits in some of them.
well, it's not and not so much in some of the swing states, but you know, like still has a good, decent 5-6% margin in some of the ones that 3 weeks ago were basically coin tosses.
Yeah.
I mean, this state is in contention. New Mexico is in contention.
This state is?
This state is in contention.
Yeah.
with the
Oh,
latest
wow.
poll. He's only 2 points up. So yeah.
Wow.
And I was actually watching a thing about that just today. They were like, yeah, he's in real trouble in Colorado just because, okay, we don't have so it's a blue state, okay, but the governor's not up this year, neither are our 2 senators. And so almost none of your Democrats really have a reason to go. So to the polls here in this state. So
Wow.
yeah, he said it would be completely different. They said if Polis was on the ballot, you know, of course they'll all come out. Or if the Republicans around here put some stupid abortion shit on the fucking ballot.
Yeah.
Which is too late for them to do now, so that's not going to happen. So, but, well, actually, I think they have till the end of July. So, I don't know.
I just was blown away. Like, I was like...
The betting markets have him at 11% now to win. Yeah. Trump is at 60. So, last week, they were 45-45.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's at 11%. Kamala Harris is at 16. Yes.
Damn.
It's rough. It's rough.
It's catastrophic, man. You know?
Well,
it is fucking disaster if you're a Democrat right now. So there's no recovery.
No. This is where you and I disagreed on this. Where it was like, where you talked about like, hey, once you know the season is blown, then you can start thinking about draft pick. That's why we named it that, right?
Yeah.
That's why we said there were 16 games
16
below 500.
Yeah.
With the playoffs about to start. It's like,
Playoffs!
You know, tell you what, why don't we let some of the second stringers stretch their legs? We're going to see who the real talent is, right? Because if it's basically cooked, right, then the problem I have on this, of course, is that this is where the rhetoric gets painfully stupid, right? Where they're like, guys, if you don't show up to vote for Biden, right, this will be the last time that a real democracy exists in America. I'm like, you guys have been jailing your political opponents. You guys have been doing the ugliest fucking lawfare I have ever seen in this country's history, and you're telling me that you're doing this for the sake of democracy. Fuck you, the horse you rode in on, your families, your children, anybody associated with you, when this is what you have done.
I wouldn't even remotely worry about that. They pulled that gun out way too early. So it's going to be
fuck all of them.
Bro, it's going to be a non-thing in 2 weeks.
I agree. So, I know.
It's
What's
gonna
in
be
2 weeks?
Huh?
What's in 2 weeks?
Nothing, not that.
Nobody's
going to buy that argument in 2 weeks.
No, this is disgraceful. That
I've
is
already
like,
heard that from a couple people.
That makes me sick. The interesting thing for me this week wasn't even in this country; it was in France. So I learned a couple things about Europe.
Yeah, so they
European
flipped
elections.
back around. Like, that was weird.
Do you know how they did it?
No, I don't.
All right. So here's the trick: is in their preliminary elections, Le Pen and their group was crushing. Okay, absolutely crushing Macron's group, the centers, right?
Yeah, but they have to fight with both the right and the left.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
All right. This is where France showed their hand on it, because they're like, how the fuck did they win? Right?
Ooh.
How the fuck did Macron's group win? The centers. Well, it turns out
That just happened today, though, right?
yes.
Okay.
So they're like, how did this happen when you guys got destroyed just a couple of days ago in the preliminaries? Well, it turns out that the socialists,
Yeah.
okay, what they did was they colluded.
Yeah.
And 200 of their candidates dropped off the ballot
Yeah.
to push all of their people into that other party.
Yeah.
Okay? That was their trick.
Yeah, that sounds very European.
It doesn't. Evidently, this is not something that they've done. So,
Well, I mean, I don't know if they've ever been seriously challenged by the far right in France before.
well, so this is the trick. Is like,
Yeah.
all right, so you made it work this time,
Yeah.
but now the cards are on the table. So now it's like, all right, so now it's a game of alliance.
Well, and that's always how it has been in almost every parliamentary system. So,
Well, and this is what I found out about Britain, because we were like, what does this all mean? Okay,
Yeah.
evidently Britain votes way differently than we do,
oh yeah, absolutely.
and it's not just
You don't vote for a prime minister in Britain.
Well, no, it's not. Well, this is the attitude, right? Is in Britain, you don't vote for someone, you vote someone out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that is exactly what they did.
Yeah.
Is they had nobody that they liked. It's just once they get to the point where they say, you suck, then everyone will show up and vote for
The
all
other
of their
guys.
opposition.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, they did that to that socialist dude 8 years ago.
Right.
There, yeah, that's
Right.
that. No, they're very similar.
But that's-
I mean,
that's
we
where
do
the
that in some
attitude-
respects, but the attitude is different.
The attitude is completely different.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like they don't get motivated until it's time to go.
yeah, yeah. No, and I know that they're very pissed at their government. So
Rightly so. And my
it's the conservative government, man. So
well, this is their problem is
so they're going back to labor.
well, this is the thing is labor is not what people think it was. It's not far left. And the problem that they have with their conservative government is they're not doing any conserving. So the thing that people are pissed at right now, what's their main issue?
Well, it's still immigration.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you have conservatives in your government and they are not booting people the fuck out, then your conservative government is doing nothing for you.
Yeah, well, and they fucked up the economy really bad too. So with tax cuts.
Yes.
So
Well, in a lot of ways. I mean, this.
well, that was the big one. That
Yeah.
that cost the last prime minister her job after 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Wacky-ish. I mean, it's.
dude, I don't know. I don't
know.
pretend to understand
I know.
French or English politics. So
I went to study it. I'm like, I don't get it.
Dude, I started looking at France's like government setup. It is this fucking tinker toy thing that I mean, they've got a president who is elected, they've got a prime minister who isn't elected, they've got a parliament, okay, that has like 8 different parties in it.
Yeah.
So that's always a coalition government. And so Le Pen was not like crushing people. She wasn't going to ever achieve a 50% majority because she went from like 17 to 30%, which is huge, but it's 30%. So she's got to actually, partner with somebody in order to actually take the job away from Macron. So, it's and then at that point in time, I was just like, fuck it, I don't know anything about this shit. I don't know how this works. I was looking at the European Parliament too, the EU Parliament. And I was like, I got like 2 paragraphs, and I was like, no, I'm not. No. I was like, wait a minute. There's a country that serves as a head of Parliament every 4 years. What the fuck is it? I don't get it. So. I was just like, no, actually, we got enough of a shit show going on here, so
We do.
I'm good with that. Well, actually, I think it's basically settled. So unless someone shoots Donald Trump, which is possible, so if he actually does, if we do find the P tape or something, who knows? It might exist. I know.
Even at that point, I don't think that's relevant.
I probably not, but if he had something new that was pretty egregious, okay, it might change things. So it's going to be like the camera's going to be on the Democrats now until the Republican convention. I don't think Donald Trump's going to announce his running mate until the convention.
Probably not.
No, he has no reason to now. Nope. So, and then we're going to watch and see whether or not, like, the Democrats, particularly, so it's got to be Jeffries and Schumer are the only 2 people who can probably get Joe Biden to step down. So, unless his wife said so. So, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Right, and see, that's the thing is you talk about like somebody shooting Trump. I would argue that there's probably a better chance of, Commodus hugging his dad to death.
It's possible. It's like, I have like Secret Service in this room while we do this.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You just needed 2 Praetorians there. That whole movie doesn't happen.
And not even with like a lot of yelling. It's just like, hey,
back up. Yeah.
I like when you get like the 2 cats. It's like, hey.
Yeah. Don't make me get the broom. So yeah.
Knock it off, fat ass. Yeah, it's
No, but I mean, like, unless he actually comes to that conclusion himself, he's probably not. Because like he's got so many of the delegates and they are legally obligated to vote for him in the first round.
Yeah.
And if that first round doesn't have enough dissent to warrant a second round, which it won't, there won't be a second round. Bang, he's the nominee. And then we're riding that train all the way to November. So, yeah.
And there's nobody so outstanding that there's nobody sitting there saying like, hey, I know a guy. It's like, I would love for this guy to step up and be the guy. There's no quarterback controversy. There's no like,
well, there's no obvious one.
Kamala's the best we got.
Oh, dude, No, man. People have been speculating about this all fucking week. I've heard everything from Gretchen Whitmer to Gavin Newsom, the Shapiro guy in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
There's another guy. They even talked about like trying to reach out to Nikki Haley. So
I've heard that.
Whoa!
Oh, I know, man. It's just like they are.
That would be crazy.
I've heard about having a double woman ticket. There's been tons of different things that people are just spitballing ideas, but like they'll float around for like 6-7 hours out there, and then someone will be like, "Well, no, because Joe Biden's not going to quit."
I do have to give you props though. You were 100% correct.
About what?
Madam Secretary is based off Hillary Clinton.
It totally is. I told you, man.
Morgan Freeman's one of the directors, and they actually said that it was.
It's supposed to be funny though.
And I was like, oh, all right, but when she actually goes and becomes president, so she's like a independent,
right?
But she takes a right-wing person.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the dream ticket where we unite the parties. Yes, I know. That's fucking like
we
really
did that before.
When?
It was like the fifth president or something like that. It was way back.
Early American history.
Way back.
Okay. Yeah.
They mentioned it. They're like, this hasn't been done since 1800 something.
We don't do it for a reason.
Yeah, I know.
Like, Jesus Christ. Just the you want to talk about hugging someone to death. I mean, it's just...
Well, it's just that pipe dream that, because that show came out of the West Wing, which was just like, oh, America could be so great if we just did this, kind of thing.
I never watched the West
Wing. Oh, it was a great show, but it was definitely one of those times. It was during George W. Bush's presidency, so it was like the anti-presidency, and that turned. And then when Obama was president, it was like, oh, that's this guy. These guys are the same. And then, afterwards it was like, actually, that wasn't good. So that involved a lot more droning than Jed Bartlett did.
Yeah, that was, again, it's the fucking Pandora model where it's like,
right.
Well, what did they like about the last thing? It's like, well, people seem to really like the dronings. That's what you want.
Yeah. Well, actually, that show predated George W. Bush, come to think of it. So, by about a year or two. It did.
I think you're right.
It did.
But I wasn't into it then. Like,
I
didn't see it until later. But and even then, I didn't watch all of it. I'm like, oh, this is.
I liked it. It was a good show. So
that's fine.
Yeah,
I'm not picking on you.
No, I like the staff guys were pretty good. That's where the fuck is that guy? The guy's on Parks and Rec. The famous guy.
Baldwin?
No, not
Baldwin. No, not Baldwin.
You know who I'm talking about.
Offerman?
Oh.
No, not Nick Offerman. The council member.
Chris Pratt. No.
Yeah, he was way more famous. Rob Lowe. That's where Rob Lowe came from. Yeah.
Well, Rob Lowe was...
He was ER before that, wasn't he?
No, he was famous way before that.
What did he do?
Oh, he was in tons of movies in the 80s.
Oh, movies? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, he so his scandal was he had to go away for a while.
I remember that.
Yeah. So what it was Rob Lowe, and you tell me how people would react to this right now. I don't know. Rob Lowe's big ugly scandal was that in his 80s decadence, it was found out that he slept with 2 women at the same time. The problem was that these girls were 16. No, hold on.
Okay.
So you're like,
was he 16?
What? No.
Oh, okay.
No. So the question was like, well, Jeffrey, why wasn't he in jail? This is well known. It's like, well, he did this in Georgia, where the age of consent is 16. So it was a moral question, and enough people were like, you disgust me.
Yeah.
I don't know how that would play right now.
You would get murdered.
That's just that. You just had that happen in The Boys.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm
watching the newest season, and they reveal that one of the gals had sex tapes of her being with a 16-year-old, but she comes out and admits it, and then says that that's what got me to see the Lord. And so,
this is a character in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, in the show.
All right.
This isn't real.
No.
No, so I don't know. I don't know if given that Roman Polanski is still alive, I don't know if it's something that we really would take that seriously, because that was a 14-year-old, and France doesn't extradite their people.
if a major actor today was actually revealed to have an affair with a 16-year-old girl, two of them at the same time,
Again, but that was in
you
the
would
state
be
of
crucified.
Florida. It was in the state
I don't
of
know if
Georgia.
you would. If he came out and admitted it and owned up to it and said, "Hey,
It's the age of consent in Georgia.
and
Is it still?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. So that matters.
Right,
That does matter.
It's not on your side.
Yeah.
then.
Right. The difference with him is, I hate to ban this actress, but it wasn't illegal when I did it.
Well,
So
Elvis said the same thing, and people still hold it against him. So yeah.
no, they don't. They don't hold that against. Dude, when
some
it comes
people do.
when it comes to the king, it's like, what are the top 5 things you remember? It's probably not that.
I don't know, man. So that might be changing. So
They're gonna say like, well, all right. If they get into the weird stuff, it's gonna be, well, Nixon deputized him. Died on the toilet.
yeah, you gotta notice that Nixon's not too popular either right now.
Right. But if you're talking about the weird shit, it's going to be like that. And it's going to be peanut butter and banana sandwiches. And it's going to be, I didn't get special treatment in the army, but I lived off base with my mom.
With my mom.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and then, of course, the other thing is going to be like, well, he's also Elvis. He did all those songs. And, like,
Yeah, I don't know about that, man. Well, that might be changing.
so yeah, just...
Like, yeah, there's been a lot of like false cancellations, and so there's been a little bit more of a like, oh no, actually that one's legit, you know, kind of thing.
Bro, you can't hang Elvis in a world where Jerry Lee Lewis existed.
What do you mean you can't? They do it all the time.
No,
People do it all the time.
Because that shit was whack. And also Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry's a good example of that. So yeah, no, I don't know, man.
You cannot have a restaurant and put cameras in the bathrooms
Right.
for the purpose of getting your jollies off. No,
That's bad.
Elvis is going to slide because he came from that era and wasn't that despicable.
Oh, he might. You never know.
Because honestly, at that point, if for all the dog shit that Frank Sinatra did, he still has not been crucified.
Yeah, there are elements out there that definitely call him out on that shit, though.
Oh, well, anybody that says they're a fan of that era, it's like, you're a
right, yeah, exactly.
You're a loser.
Yeah.
You're
It's like, what's wrong with you?
you're who is that fucking dweeb that that they're constantly showing? He's one of those like those men's rights guys, the dude who Tate, is that the guy I'm thinking of? That
Andrew Tate.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of those are the kind of people who would be into like Frank Sinatra. Right? And like those rap guys were so cool.
Dude, he almost wound up going to jail for like the rest of eternity. So
Yeah, I don't know how he escaped.
I don't know either, man.
That dude looks like...
That guy looks like trouble. So yeah, if he came anywhere with my daughter, I'd be like, wait right here, I'm gonna be right back. So
Now, honey, Daddy's got to go away for a while.
I'm gonna go away for a little while, but you're gonna thank me for this.
Because I'm gonna tell you, what I'm about to do is not legal, but it's
absolutely not legal. I need you to dial 9 and 1. And then after you hear the second shot.
I need you to understand. Like, this is like legal does not always mean right.
Right.
Yes, this is gonna be like that Samuel Jackson movie where it's just like killed a whole birds in hell.
Yeah.
Is that Time to Kill?
Time to Kill.
Yeah.
Was that Time to Kill or was that John Q? No, you're right. That was Time to Kill.
No, John Q is
Denzel Washington.
yeah.
John Q was Denzel?
Yeah. Isn't that?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah. That's hospital. Yeah, you're right.
Isn't that
Sorry, he wasn't
not
bald Punisher. You know, I mean the
the
Equalizer.
Equalizer, yeah. He was also a man on fire. So.
Yeah.
He was a man on fire.
But you know, when John Q is I'm not gonna bury my son's gonna bury me.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I saw an interview with actually 2 interviews with Morgan Freeman, and he may be the most base dude I've ever seen in my life. Have you seen the ones where okay, so who was the guy from 60 Minutes from a long time ago?
Andy Rooney?
No. I can't remember. I know his face when I got. Say again?
Was he a reporter?
Yes.
Mike Wallace?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Okay, so he's talking to Morgan Freeman, and he says they're talking about Black History Month, and he starts it. He's like, "So you think Black History Month?" And Morgan Freeman goes, "It's ridiculous."
Yeah, I've heard him say
Yeah,
that.
yeah. He's like,
Yeah.
"Why?" He's like, "Do you think 1 month is enough to encompass my history?" He's like, "Oh, come on." He's like, "No, it's fine, it's fine." It's like, "So what month is White History Month?" He's like, "Well, I'm Jewish." He's like, "Okay, no problem.
What month is Jewish History Month? Yeah,
And
yeah.
he goes, "Well," it's like, "Do you want one?" He's like, "Well, no." He's like, "Well, I don't want one either."
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
and then he says like, "Well, so how do we combat racism?" And Morgan Freeman says, "Stop talking about it."
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, "I'm gonna ask you." He's like, "I'm gonna not call you a white man, and I'm gonna ask you to not call me a black man. That's it." Because they were trying to get him to lean into some shit. And he's like, "No, actually, this is stupid." Yeah. And
Good man.
he got into that with Don Lemon too.
Well, I can definitely see that. I mean, see, Mike Wallace is a pretty good interviewer, so
He was. He
yeah,
did
he
not
was a good
expect
dude.
that though.
No, he did not. I think I'm familiar with that one.
He's
He's been one of those guys. Denzel's been one of those guys for a while
Yeah.
too. So there's been a few of them here and there.
Morgan
So-
Freeman's thing is like, "I don't want you to think of me as a black actor."
No, exactly. Yeah. Well, and I mean, Sidney Poitier used to say that too. So yeah. There's always been a streak of that in Hollywood that is kind of a little bit rebellious to all that stuff. But you get tolerated because you've been in everything. So
Well, and that's where you have your backups too. It's like, all right, so if you want Morgan Freeman to play a detective, but Morgan Freeman is busy, you get Ernie Hudson.
or you reschedule.
Oh man, that's rough. That's the fucking. Oh, that's like the Kirkland of black actors.
I'm sorry, man. Ernie Hudson is always Ernie Hudson. He's the same guy. And I don't know. There's been a couple guys over the years that have been like that. It's just like none of them has been like. I mean, I remember he was in so many B films for a while, just playing like, Winston in a suit.
He was until he was in Oz, and then
He was in Oz.
Yep.
The TV series.
Yep.
I don't remember him.
Yeah, he was.
Was he a regular character? Or?
Yeah.
Oh wait, he was a warden one day.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, no, you're right.
And
I do remember
since
that.
then,
yeah.
it's always been detectives or cops.
Yeah. You're right. Yep, you're right. So I forgot about that. God, man, a lot of people came from that show. So
Well, especially that era of like HBO. Yeah.
that one predated the fucking Sopranos. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where Edie Falco came from. So
Yeah.
And Chris Meloni before he ruled fucking SVU for 20 years. So
Yeah.
he got raped in prison. He busted his cheeks, but good.
Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's a good place to wrap it up, I suppose. Yeah. I was way into that show. That was when I was way too poor to afford HBO, but I did it. Anyway. So
I don't think I've ever paid for HBO.
No, I've just gotten it for free for a
Yeah,
while.
I've signed in for the free.
I bought it the first year that we were married. It was like, well, you can get this for just an extra like $8 a month. And,
Dude, you were buying it when they were still making when it was the swirly HBO logo.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
So, I mean, some of our recordings had the HBO logo before them, which means we didn't buy them.
That's correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's got the FBI warning on there. Yeah, exactly. So it's like you're supposed to start the tape after that.
All right, brother. I think I'm good. Anything else you
Yeah.
on your mind?
Yeah, all good here.
Well,
So is Joe Biden going to quit by Wednesday?
Probably not.
Okay.
by Wednesday?
Well, that's when we podcast next. I think it's time to start taking bets.
So, I would say that Gavin Newsom hugs him to death before he
But that
quits.
doesn't make him president. So
No,
it
but
makes Kamala Harris president.
she wouldn't have the guts to do it.
What, to kill Joe
No.
Biden? No.
No.
Gavin Newsom won't either. He wants both of them dead. So
Maybe it happens the same night.
that's possible. Yeah.
Their breath gave out while they slept.
Mm-hmm.
Because breath does that.
It's kind of believable for
So fucking
war.
left the fan on the window.
Told him. I mean, ancient Asian wisdom.
Ancient
no.
Asian wisdom. So back in the day when you left the ceiling fan on in 1300 AD.
I'm telling you, it's like, I went into both their bedrooms. I said, okay, the heads of your beds are both facing north. Change that. And
No fans. In the
no
window.
fans on with the windows, with the door closed, man.
Common
It
knowledge.
just occurred to me that can't be that old, can it? Yeah. So unless you had a guy in the corner of the room. So,
Oh, good lord.
there you go. All right, I'm Pat.
I'm Will.
Well, Jeffrey.
Putting the button.
Cool.